Breaking news, heartbreaking news leads KSPR News at 10 as officers and citizens all over the Ozarks search for a missing 10-year-old girl. I'm Jerry Jacob.
And I'm Lee Moody. 10-year-old Haley Owens has been missing since 5 o'clock tonight. She was walking to a friend's house on West Lombard when witnesses say a man went up to her, grabbed her, and threw her in his truck. Tonight, police believe it was a stranger. KSPR's Melody Pettit has been there all night and is live right now. Melody, do we have any more details from police?
Yeah, Lee, it's been roughly about 5 hours since this girl, 10-year-old Haley Owens, was taken from this street. You can see police are still here. They have that area where she was taken marked off with police tape. Investigators are there going over it with a fine-tooth comb, hoping to find any clues or evidence as to who would have taken her and where she is. 5 hours, that's a pivotal time. Police say with each hour that passes, the likelihood of finding this little girl go down.
It blows my mind. It really blows my mind.
Neighbor Janet McCandless has seen 10-year-old Haley Owens playing in her street.
They play out here on the streets all the time, little kids do. And
Girl, it was that girl?
Yeah, that's her.
She can't imagine what the little girl or her parents must be feeling.
They don't know where their daughter is. They want to find their daughter.
Police say Owens lives in the area but was walking along this street when a complete stranger approached her.
From what we understand, someone that is not known to her called her over to a vehicle, a Ford Ranger pickup, golden color, and pulled her into the vehicle, and they left the scene.
Police say there are several witnesses who saw it happen. Now they're doing everything they can to find her.
We're scouring Springfield for her. We've got every officer that's not on a priority 2 or higher assignment combing Springfield looking for her. I can tell you that every minute counts.
Minutes that an entire community are counting.
I'm praying for the family and hope that they get her back real fast. And it just really breaks my heart to see this, and my heart goes out to them.
There is a statewide Amber Alert across Missouri right now for this little girl, 10-year-old Haley Owens. That means police hope that you at home will take an active role in trying to help find her. Keep your eyes out. Look for the girl and the car that may have taken her. Lee?
All right, Melody Pettit reporting live. Thank you. Once again, here is the information about the missing girl. The Amber Alert was just extended to Kansas and Oklahoma. Haley Owens is 10 years old. She has brown hair and brown eyes. This is her picture. She's about 5 feet 2 inches tall, is 90 pounds, and her ears are pierced. Police say the person who took her is about 45 years old with gray hair and hasn't shaved. He may be driving a gold 2008 Ford Ranger that looks like this. The license plate could be 1YS454. If you have any information, call 911 right away. We have posted Haley's picture and information on the KSPR Facebook page. Hundreds of people have already shared the photo on their own pages, and we're asking you to do the same. It's on KSPR News on Facebook. We also have additional information and pictures posted on our website at kspr.com.
An update now on the child abduction yesterday in Marionville. One man has now been charged for it. It is Richard Smith, the girl's uncle, charged with kidnapping and child endangerment. Police say he and Danielle Smith's father took her just before school started yesterday. She was found safe last night in Oklahoma. The 2 men were arrested there. Andrew Smith claims he took his daughter to be with other family members while he fights for custody in court. Andrew Smith has not been charged yet, but is still behind bars. A lot of people are speaking out on Facebook tonight about the abductions and the rights of parents.
Especially parents who have custody but aren't seeing any money.
Some people in the Ozarks say they're owed tens of thousands of dollars and will never see a penny of it. Their parents waiting on child support. KSPR's Joanna Small joins us now live in the studio to explain why the enforcement system isn't necessarily broken, but it just can't fix this. Joanna.
Jerry, hundreds of you responded to our Facebook status earlier today when we asked if you are one of these parents who is owed thousands of dollars in child support. In under an hour, I had a dozen phone calls. So I went in search of an answer as to how some people can break this law and get away with it. Let's go get the quesadilla.
Dinner at the Yeager house tonight is quesadillas and salad. Hopefully there will be leftovers.
Kids don't need to have to be, they shouldn't have to worry about what their parents are worried about.
And sometimes that's buying groceries.
I've been a single parent for a long time, for years.
Since her divorce in 2001, when Shannon Yeager's ex-husband neglected to make his first $800 child support payment. In fact, he's never made one in full. And now Shannon is owed
Close to $40,000.
It's not that the court hasn't tried to collect.
It's definitely a problem everywhere.
It's that sometimes their hands are tied, explains Laura Fors, a prosecutor for the Springfield Regional Child Support Office.
It can be a very vicious circle. For example, if you owe thousands of dollars in child support, the state might garnish your wages. But if you're unemployed, underemployed, or taking money under the table, then you don't have enough wages to cover your debt. The next step may be going to jail, but you can't make any money when you're in jail. So when you get out, you're right back to where you started, owing even more than you did before.
Back pay is owed in 77% of child support cases the state is tracking. That amounts to nearly $2.5 billion in Missouri. Ford says she pursues civil and criminal charges against the people failing to pay. But sometimes they just can't pay.
As far as thumbing their nose and never wanting to pay, we don't see it all that much, because those are the people whose mind we can change. Our toughest cases are the ones who have obstacles to getting or keeping employment.
Shannon believes her ex is thumbing his nose. He won't change his mind, and neither will the court.
I think this time he's going to go to prison. The judge is probably going to go him to prison, or at least he's going to do this one more time, but then it's definitely prison. And I've heard that for the last 4 or 5 years.
So she saves where she can. Tonight, she'll make extras.
You know, we've had a struggle.
I want you to take a look at these numbers. Missouri ranks 41st in the country when it comes to collecting child support and 37th when it comes to non-custodial parents not paying. But Fors does say part of the reason is in Missouri, child support back pay has more time to accrue because payments are often required until the child turns 21. And if the parent commits a crime and goes to prison, we don't reduce their payments. Most other states do. Jerry.
Joanna Small for us tonight. One other thing we've learned tonight, the numbers in this can be deceiving. Missouri only tracks cases where the family is receiving some kind of benefit, such as welfare, and if the custodial parent applies to be part of the system. And that's usually only when there's a problem. So there are child support cases where payments are made on time every month, but the department does not track all of those.
New numbers on crime are out in Springfield, and although there was an increase in crime in 2013, a safety report for the last 3 months of the year showed a small decrease. There was a 27% drop in crimes against people in the fourth quarter of 2013 and a 5% drop in property crimes. The report shows that 75 stolen cars had the keys left inside them.
A man is behind bars after selling marijuana to undercover police at a rehab facility in Harrison, Arkansas. Police say they bought 4 ounces of the drug from 23-year-old Cody Latterini. Latterini faces a variety of charges, from delivery of a controlled substance to endangering the welfare of a minor. He lived at this rehab house with his young son and 3 other men. His mother, Rebecca Hampton, says he's been in trouble with the law on and off for years. She says the house tried to save Latterini from the very thing he was arrested for.
A lot of the guys are in the same situation as my son. You know, they've made mistakes, bad mistakes. We all make mistakes. They decide to start trying to, do better, and they don't have anywhere else to go.
The rehab house will soon no longer be an option for addicts. The landlord says there's no timeline for when all the men will now have to leave. But once it's empty, he says the home will be renovated and put back on the market.
A scam alert tonight in one Ozarks County. The Phelps County Sheriff says people are calling around pretending they know you, but they're really scammers. One scam involves someone calling you and claiming to have a family member in jail. They ask for money for bail or gift cards. Another scam going around is when someone calls you and claims you've won a bunch of money. All you have to do is pay a tax or a fee. That is a scam. A reminder, don't ever give out any personal information on the phone if you don't know who it is calling.
The warm weather and winds helped a fire spread quickly just outside Monette this afternoon. The grass fire started accidentally by someone burning trash, quickly spread into the woods along Farm Road 1063. This picture is from the Monette Times. 14 fire departments responded, as well as the Department of Conservation and the Red Cross. The fire threatened several houses and a poultry farm before crews got it under control early this evening. The winds really dying down now.
And tomorrow looks to be almost as nice as today. That's nice. Our chief meteorologist Kevin Leidy's here now with your first look at tonight's forecast. Kevin?
Yeah, that's right. So winds have calmed down. It's still fairly mild outside tonight. Things are looking pretty good. Clear skies. And look at these temperatures. Still into the upper 40s to low and mid 50s. It's still 55 in Camden, 57 in Branson. We've cooled down to 46 degrees here in Springfield. And as we look ahead to tomorrow, we're going to find those temperatures warming back up again to the mid 50s around lunchtime and around 60 degrees for a high temperature. Not bad, but showers and thunderstorms heading our way. We'll talk about when to expect those coming up a little bit later on in the newscast. Lee?
Thanks, Kevin. The health department is hoping to reopen a popular Springfield restaurant.
Coming up, when fans of Mr. Yen's might be able to eat there again.
And looking to break out of the pack in the Valley standings, find out if the Bears pick up a road win at Illinois State. Plus, see who claims bragging rights in the backyard throwdown. Nixa or Ozark ahead in sports.
People were screaming.
Plus, the mess on one flight as it hits really bad turbulence. Tonight, what passengers on board have to say. KSPR News at 10. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
You're watching KSPR News at 10 with Jerry Jacob, Lee Moody, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy, and Sports with Hugh Keaton. KSPR, covering our community.
Some good news tonight for fans of Mr. Yen's. The health department says the restaurant should be able to open again tomorrow. The popular spot has been closed for more than a week now. Inspectors spent the afternoon at the restaurant making sure it's good to go before it reopens. This is the third time in the past year the restaurant has been shut down because of critical health code violations. The health department says it is working with Mr. Yen's to stop future problems.
The federal government is trying to figure out what caused severe turbulence on a United Airlines flight.
In a split second, we were tilting to the far right and plunging.
Passengers on the flight going into Billings, Montana yesterday say it was pandemonium. 5 people went to the hospital. The flight had left Denver. Drinks had just been served and passengers were moving around the cabin when flight 1676 started to move.
It was just instantaneous. Everything that everybody had in their hands were flying through the air. People were screaming.
One woman crashed into the luggage bin, knocking her out. The Boeing 737 has been taken out of service until agents can look at it.
Wow. Well, it may have been in the 60s today.
But the winds came with it. Coming up, where else firefighters spent the day fighting grass fires.
Had a nice day here despite the strong winds. High temperatures made it all the way up into the upper 60s. 68 degrees for a high temperature in Springfield. A little bit cooler. We've got some cooler temperatures that are in the forecast. We'll be talking about that. Possible thunderstorms also moving in, and we'll talk about a big weekend drop-off with the storms. That's all coming up in your forecast with more KSPR News at 10 after the break.
It may have been 68 today, but the warmer weather is not making all of the ice disappear.
Check out this ice curtain in St. Louis. Appeared this week under a bridge in South St. Louis. The 3-story tall and 15 feet wide curtain is the talk of the neighborhood. It's not run off from the bridge. A pipe under it froze and split. Could take a month to fix it as they wait for drier and, of course, warmer weather. And it wasn't just the Ozarks dealing with high winds today. This is a grass fire in Edmond, Oklahoma, the out-of-control fire near Edmond. A few fences and backyards were burned, but no houses. Most of Oklahoma will be under a fire danger watch for at least the next day.
Now, KSPR weather.
And we can thank those very strong, gusty southerly winds today that were once again gusting over 30 miles an hour at times. And we're going to bring back some of those winds again tomorrow. Cold front, believe it or not, moving through as we speak. But you're not going to notice anything. It won't interact with any moisture. It will bring us some slightly cooler air for tomorrow. Now, what we have to be concerned about over the next couple of days will be chances for showers and some thunderstorms. The first will come along as this warm front lifts through tomorrow evening. A secondary round as a cold front comes through around midday on Thursday. Now, one of the other concerns obviously will be the potential for some strong to maybe severe thunderstorms. And this is how it kind of plays out here on the Futurecast. You can really watch hour by hour here. The clouds increasing tomorrow evening, okay, and then rapidly thunderstorms breaking out. This is overnight. I think that especially for areas north of I-44, scattered showers and storms here, and some of those could become severe. Now, the main threats with this, large hail. I'm not concerned about tornadoes or damaging winds with Wednesday night's storms. And you can see we've put a threat track 3 up here for areas like Osceola and Camden, and the rest of us a 2, that low threat. Now with that secondary cold front coming through, that's what this is indicating here with the Futurecast model. But notice the time, 8 o'clock in the morning. Not usually a conducive time for severe weather. Usually we like the late afternoon to be able to get that. Well, if this model is correct, I think the severe weather chances will be fairly low. We won't have been able to destabilize the atmosphere enough. If we do destabilize that atmosphere and we get more energy, okay, then we possibly have some severe weather to the eastern portion of the Ozarks. And this is where that threat track for Thursday is showing up on the elevated level here, number 3, for West Plains to Eminence. So again, it's all about the timing of how quickly that cold front will come through. In the meantime, we're looking forward to a nice day tomorrow. Temperatures back near 60 degrees. Now, again, that's obviously quite a bit cooler than what we saw today, but still very mild for this time of the year. Then something interesting may be happening Thursday morning. Some of the models are indicating a nice little warm-up ahead of that front moving through. At 8 o'clock in the morning, we could still be into the low and mid-60s as that front comes racing across. Temperatures fall off, and again, we'll be watching for that potential for a little bit of severe weather. Right now, it's still 46 in Springfield. The winds not too bad, between 5 and 10. We'll double that again tomorrow afternoon. Other area temperatures, 55 still in Camden, 10, 50 in Houston, so a very mild night across the Ozarks. 35 for the low, mostly clear with those winds calm now, but picking back up tomorrow, gusting up to 30 miles an hour again, with storms expected very late into the day. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. You can see that we have that potential for another round of some rain for Monday, and then we're looking at a big drop-off in temperatures as we head into next week.
Beware come Thursday, especially.
Yeah, we'll keep you up to date on the latest severe weather chances.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kev. The popular former host of Dirty Jobs is facing his critics tonight. Coming up, why they say he's selling out the average Joe.
But first, a major Hot Pocket recall. Coming up next, what you need to make sure is not in your freezer. KSPR News at 10 continues right after the break. The former host of Dirty Jobs is under fire tonight.
Mike Rowe being criticized for a Walmart commercial he is in.
It's time to get back to what America does best.
Critics saying he's a corporate sellout for teaming up with Walmart on this commercial. People blasted Rowe on social media, writing, quote, "I've looked up to you for the longest time. What happened to your support for the underdogs?" Sad times, Mike. Mike says he's just doing his job.
I'm not a spokesman for Walmart. I'm a spokesman for American manufacturing. Self-appointed, maybe, but I'm a fan.
Rowe says he never looked at it as selling out. He says it's just work.
Congress says a hike in the minimum wage could cost a lot of people their jobs. A new report finds a raise in the minimum wage to $10.10 an hour could reduce employment by 500,000 workers, and they think it could be as high as 1 million. But the report says the hike would mean a boost for most workers. Some Hot Pockets you might have in your freezer could be recalled. Nestle is recalling the croissant crust Philly steak and cheese and regular Philly steak and cheese Hot Pockets in certain sizes. So far, no one has gotten sick, but Nestle says the products could have meat that was recalled last week in them. Most of the Hot Pockets were made sometime in the last year. Up next in sports, find out if the Bears can break out of the pack and claim 3rd place in the conference standings.
Plus, a pair of the Ozarks' top small schools go head-to-head with a conference championship on the line. KSPR News at 10. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Now, KSPR Sports.
Hey, everybody, for seeding in the upcoming Missouri Valley Tournament. Every game is critical down the stretch, including tonight's contest for the Bears at Illinois State. The Bears and Redbirds entering as 2 of 3 teams tied for 3rd place in the conference. The Bears with lots of turnover trouble. The Redbirds forced 21 takeaways. This one leads to a Deshaun Knight layup. Missouri State trailed by as much as 12 in the first half. The Bears storm back in the second half. Jamar Gully scores a team-high 24 points. That basket inside and the foul makes it a 1-point game. Austin Reuter heats up, connecting on the three here, putting MSU up 2 with under 5 to play, but Illinois State answers right back. It's Reggie Lynch taking it in for the game-tying basket, and the Redbirds take control of the free throw line in the final minutes and take down the Bears 67-63.
Every team in this league is tough, so you got to come into every game prepared, and we weren't prepared for the first half, and came back out the second half and tried to compete.
For 3. The Bears, now 7-8 in the Valley, are tied with Northern Iowa for 4th place and return home to host Indiana State on Saturday. The stakes are getting higher for high school basketball teams in the Ozark. Hartville looking for its 14th straight win, hosting Gainesville with the Summit Conference Championship in the balance. The freshman from Gainesville, Houston Johnson, sticks the offensive rebound. Actually, this is for Hartville. He sticks the offensive rebound there. On the other end for Gainesville, Thomas Ritter steps up and buries 3 of his team-high 30 points. But the play of the game comes here by another freshman. Hartville's Dune Piper comes up with the steal, and he goes in for the layup to put the Eagles up 64-62. That's your final. Hartville claims the Summit Conference Championship. Shade Piper leads the way with 21 points. Nixa starting to put it together at the right time, looking to remain undefeated in the COC Small, hosting arch rival Ozark and what they're calling the backyard throwdown. This is Heath Carmichael stepping back and burying the 3 for Ozark, brings the visiting fans to their feet, but the Eagles protect their home floor. Good passing into sophomore Chase Allen. The Nixa fans get to scream the loudest tonight. Bryce Doolin hits a jumper at the buzzer that lifted Nixa to the 74-72 win. Great game there. The Willard Tigers also trying to keep their perfect COC Small record intact, hosting Republic. Look at future MSU Bear Chris Kendricks on the breakaway, hammers home a two-handed jam, but the Republic Tigers in control and leading big. Cody Geiger misses his first attempt, but gets it back and scores 21 points. For Geiger, Canyon Smith puts up 25 as Republic wins 66-41. In the OC, the Waynesville Tigers carrying a 15-game winning streak into Parkview. Third quarter, Jawan Morgan going back to Michael Thompson. Tigers up 15. Great matchup of 2 of the area's best big men. Zach Cameron Chotis gets the tip in. He had a couple of monster dunks in the game, but 23 points from 6'8". Jawan Morgan is just too much. Waynesville wins 59-46. The Tigers go for the outright conference title Friday, hosting Kickapoo. Waynesville, great team to keep your eye on in the Ozarks. Also, the Drury men up to number 2 in the rankings. The Drury women ranked 8th this week.
Are they new rankings coming out tomorrow?
The regional rankings come out tomorrow. That's where they're seated as far as the NCAA tournament goes. If they're seated 1 in those regional rankings, they will host the NCAA regionals right here. Men and women. Men and women. They've got a chance to both be number 1 in those regional rankings. Yep.
Another big year for the Panthers. Thanks, Hugh.
I think we humans are camera shy. Check out this octopus coming up next. Can the photographers get their camera back? Another look at our top story tonight. A 10-year-old Springfield girl is still missing.
The Amber Alert has been extended to Kansas as well as Oklahoma now. Haley Owens, 10 years old, brown hair, brown eyes. That's her picture right there. About 5 feet 2 inches tall, 90 pounds, and her ears are pierced. Police say the person who took her is about 45 years old with gray hair and has not shaved. Maybe driving a gold 2008 Ford Ranger that looks like that. The license plate could be 1YS. 454. If you have any information, call 911 right away, please.
Let's look ahead to tomorrow's weather. Almost as nice as today?
Yeah, tomorrow a little cooler, okay, but temperature still probably will hit 60 degrees. Well, watch out for a few showers and thunderstorms moving in Wednesday night and into the day on Thursday. And again, we're going to watch that closely. There's a chance that a few of those could become strong. Beyond that, horrible timing for the weekend. Temperatures really falling off. We're going to see readings down into the mid and upper 40s, but it gets even colder as we head into next week. And I won't lie, there is a possibility of some wintry precipitation returning beyond what you see there on the 7-day forecast. So we'll keep you up to date on that. In the meantime, get out and enjoy tomorrow afternoon. It'll be your last nice day for a while.
We knew winter wasn't over.
Sadly. Well, some people don't like it when you try to take their photo.
Apparently, neither does this specific octopus. 2 divers taking pictures near Carmel, California when this happened. They met up with a giant Pacific octopus. Apparently tired of all the flashes, the sea creature tried to pull the camera away from the diver's hands.
Oh my.
Lucky for the divers, they were able to get the camera back safe and sound, but Lee, that's stuff of your nightmares, isn't it?
It really is. You cannot win tug of war with something with 8 legs. I'm sorry.
I thought you liked all pets.
That's not a pet. That's slimy and gross.
We knew we'd find it eventually. That's KSPR News at 10.
Join us for more news tomorrow morning from 5 until 7. Jimmy Kimmel Live starts right now.